Oh, man, Alex, how's it going, buddy?
What's up, bro? How we doing?
We are doing, sir. I'm trying not to make another Hess truck reference so that we go on a 10-minute tangent on the Hess truck. 2 days in a row, that would be, or two pods in a row, rather. That'd be a problem. Some
No,
might
it's
say.
just it's fine.
You know what I need to load up?
Not me trying to find the release date so we have it in our documents.
The most important, the thing we planned on the most. When does the Hess truck come out? I need it.
Don't worry about it when we get absurd quantities of Hess trucks and start wholesaling them.
Look, we're single-handedly going to bring the Hess truck back and make it better than ever. Actually.
It's a dad joke if I've ever heard one.
That was the point, Alex.
Yeah.
Like, we go from square one to square two. That's how this works.
And then you sniff square three, but you end up back at square one anyway.
Yeah. It's a great analogy for working in sports, by the way. Unintentionally.
Kind of where I'm at, honestly. But we're here.
I need to put my questions up there. So, I think we'll kind of run through a show map here so people know what we're doing. I mean, the title is actually the show map, but that's okay. We're doing trivia part 3. Again, we wrote 10 questions. If we need a tiebreaker, hopefully we don't, we'll go to the chat, and hopefully there's someone here that can attempt to stump each of us. And then, that is a not real number. Well, it's a real number, but not.
Please use real numbers.
Let's just say one of the percentages I had in one of my trivia questions said 412.7%.
I mean, you could have that many if you wanted to.
No, it's not possible. But we're going to do trivia. We're going to do looking at the All-Star ballot. And we'll end with the Missouri Valley Conference 2025 men's golf for you.
Do you want to just run through the month of July too while we're at it? Or?
Yeah, we'll get to that in a second. New rules for it, and I'll cover it again with the conferences, because obviously the first 2 rounds we did kind of unlimited guesses, and it was just how far can you go. Starting this week, it's 3 strikes, you're out unless you get to 50% of the conference. So like Missouri Valley, for example, there are 10 schools. I will give you that information for free. Once you get the 5th one, you earn a 4th strike. So if you eat up 2 of your 3 strikes before you get there, you'll have 2 strikes for the second half type deal. So it could either make it easier or harder, actually. And then
It depends.
Segueing into that July show map, as you teased. Obviously this week we will pod. Next week we won't be, because actually Wednesday night we'll both be at the Red Sox-Reds game at Fenway together. So content may exist, it may not exist. That's where we sit right now. And then the following week, no pod because I'm still on vacation. The 17th, is the only July podcast we'll have. Like, regular July podcast will be the 17th, I want to say, as I look at. Yeah. Thursday the 17th of July will be the only one in July.
I thought there was another Thursday in there.
No, there's not, because I'm on vacation the 2nd and the 3rd. I'm sorry, the 3rd and the 10th. I'm on vacation. The 17th.
What about? Yeah, then I'm gone through the 27th. But what about the 31st?
So yeah, the 31st. So we'll just be doing basically the 17th and 31st will be the only pods. Of the
But we'll have
there will
some
still be
other stuff
content.
going on throughout the month. So.
YouTube, TikTok, all that stuff will get content. It'll be broken up versions of the pod. Maybe if we generate other content other ways, we'll use that as well.
Love that.
Segueing, as it were, to trivia, Alex. Currently, all time, I have on 20 questions, mind you, I have a 9-8 lead. Actually, it's on 22 questions, but that's okay because you didn't know the fourth division winning club in England's soccer this year. For the record, I want you to know they're like the number one club I use in FIFA. So as soon as I saw they won, I was like, that's going to be one of my trivia questions, but it felt dirty to make it a real trivia question. So that's why it wound up in the tiebreaker category for me. But since I have the lead, I am going to ask questions first.
Just for the record, I'm going to fire mine off in no particular order from how they're in front of me, so I could be...
I'm reading down because if I don't read down, I'll wind up completely skipping a question like someone did the first time. Alex, realizing he thought he had 10 questions, only had 9.
This is why I do what I do and you do what you do. One of us likes math slightly more than the other.
For the record, I think the fact that I'm a salesman makes me very particular about the way I do things. For the record.
No, I think you have to be too. No, I think that comes with the territory.
I definitely wasn't this particular about a lot of stuff before I got into sales, by the way. Like, to bring this back to, like, the industry that we work in, there are so many things I do now. I'm like, 10 years ago, I wouldn't have done that. 10 years ago, mind you, I was a sophomore in college. I had just finished my freshman year of college and would be going into my sophomore year of college at this time 10 years ago. And I'm a very, very different person than I was then. But
my cable.
So, which player has lost the most Stanley Cup Finals in history?
There's no option to throw names out. Is that what we're doing?
No. You have to just name it. It's a player you know. I can tell you for a fact you've heard this man's name.
Is it our good friend Corey Perry?
That is incorrect. Corey Perry only has 5 Stanley Cup final losses. The leader is Gordie Howe. He lost 7 Stanley Cup finals. I want you to know I put that question in because of how much we were talking about Corey Perry. And I was like, it's Alex is just going to immediately be like, Corey Perry.
All right, so the first question I got is a true or false question for you.
All right.
The longest start for a starting pitcher is 26 innings.
True.
Yeah, so there was a game in 1920 between, I think, the Dodgers and the Red Sox. Both pitchers went 26 innings.
So I want you to know, that was one of the questions I almost put on my list.
All right.
So, ready? There's a caveat to this question that I will give you before. It's not a 9-inning game. Who holds the single-game strikeout record in the MLB?
So, saying he pitched more than 9.
The game was more than 9. I didn't actually look up how many innings this man particularly pitched. But the game was more than 9. I'll give you another hint. It's not Roger Clemens.
Oh, yeah, no.
And it's not Randy Johnson.
It's not Kerry Wood either.
Nope, but I did watch a documentary about him today, so that's part of why this question got asked.
see, see all these like older things are just like I think of older pitchers because in like MLB in the last 30 years, like you don't have that discrep like pitchers now don't throw 20 strike like it's rare you see above like what 13,
I was gonna
14.
say if you get like 8 or 9, it's actually like an impressive game.
Yeah, if you touch double digits, you're good. It's got to be an older guy, right?
Yeah, I would say so.
It's a number 27.
The number of strikeouts is 21, which, by the way, going back to the Kerry Wood thing for a second, think about that. He did his 20 in a 9 inning game. I know Clemens also did his 20 in a 9 inning game, but
Yeah,
and Johnson, but
should go to like Bob Gibson, but I know that's not right either.
no, it's not. It's Tom. I'm gonna spell his last name because I don't know how to pronounce it. Cheney. I think it's Cheney.
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 I think I saw that. I think I was looking at that, and
It was a 16 inning game. I didn't actually look up how many innings he pitched. I assume it was all 16 though. Again, older pitchers, they just kind of would go wire to wire.
So, Alex Rodriguez has the highest career earnings with $455 million with 3 MVPs. Mr. Shohei Ohtani also has 3 MVPs. But in comparison, how much money strictly from playing has Shohei made?
I $1 billion. I'm using his deferred contract as in my plans here.
All right, so we're gonna final answer.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with his earnings will be $1 billion by the end of his contract.
No, this is like as of like a month ago.
As of a month ago. Okay, that changes.
Yeah, I forgot to say that. I forgot to read that part.
I thought you were including his total contract.
No. This is as of
So what's Rodriguez's number?
455.
I'm gonna say 385 because of how
Shohei's
badly deferred it is.
Well, you're not getting another point. I'll tell you that right now because Shohei's only made $46 million as of right now.
Ooh. That, like I said, I knew it was less. I knew it was less because of the deferred.
Well, you got to think about it, right? Because he's only earning $2 million a year for the next, I think, 8 years. I think 8 or 9 years.
Stupid.
All right.
Oh, well, whatever. I still keep my 2-point lead for now.
Yeah, you're probably gonna keep it in like.
We're very baseball heavy today.
Now mine are very baseball heavy. Not gonna lie.
How many times was Tony Gwynn struck out by Nolan Ryan in his career?
Oh, I have a Tony Gwynn question later, but it's not
That's
that one.
Fantastic. We probably were looking at the same stat page.
Ooh, because Nolan Ryan specifically.
Against Nolan Ryan specifically.
Considering I know he has a very low strikeout number, just in general, I'm gonna say 3.
You are wrong. Nolan Ryan is the pitcher that struck Tony Gwynn out the most in his career. 9 times.
Okay.
I honestly thought you were going to guess 10, and I was going to be like, oh, you're going to be pissed.
No, the first time we did this, there's a lot of that.
That was I saw that, and I was like, 9 times? He has, what, like 343 strikeouts total?
I'm not gonna say because that makes me eat a question.
It's fine.
Okay. Let's see. All right. Can you guess the mileage of Ricky Henderson's career stolen bases to the nearest whole number? So I'll let you round up to a whole number.
Okay. So his total stolen bases is 1911. Is that right?
Hold up. Probably should have had the baseball reference up, but we're gonna just say that I did. He had 1406.
1406. Don't ask why I had 1911 in my head.
Got about another stat.
I'm gonna guess 24 miles.
Yeah.
I want you to know I did the math in my head. That's why if I had once you
then-
gave me the stolen bases number, it was so easy.
Do you want to? So
It'd
I'm
be
gonna add this on.
so it'd be 23.98 miles or something like that.
I had 23.97, but decimal.
Rounding
He
out.
hit another 5 point. He hit another 5.7 just for all of his caught stealing. So that makes you feel like you're fast.
That's insane. Again, I realize that's over a whole career.
Yeah, that's yeah.
All right, Alex. This is probably, in my opinion, the hardest question on my list.
Jesus.
Which player has won the most FIFA World Cups? Single man. I don't need his legal name. I need what he goes by. Because I didn't know his legal name until today.
Is it an older guy?
Yes. I will tell you he's Brazilian and nationality as well.
Was it Pele?
Yes, it is.
All right, that's
The reason I said I think it was the hardest question because I didn't know his real name, and when I Googled it, it gave me his real name, and it's like known as Pele. I was like, oh, okay.
I think like the last Ronaldo is actually like the same deal. Miss Cristiano's. I'll take 96. Thank you.
You can have.
All right.
Okay.
I gotta verify this too. Can't spell words, but it's another baseball question.
By the
Shocker,
way, I did take factual sentences, and I just asked ChatGPT to make it a question. So just change the statement to a question.
Do you know the battery with the most starts?
All right, so you're telling me pitching rotation with the most starts.
Individual pitcher with a catcher, yes.
Okay. I don't have any fucking clue who any of Nolan Ryan's catchers were.
I don't expect you to know. Well, I mean, I don't expect you to know Nolan Ryan's catchers. That's for next time.
Can you tell me what team they played for? That's the only thing I want.
I feel like that would give it away if I said the team.
You think it'll give it away? So it's.
I think it will. It definitely will.
All right, then give me more broad. Is it American League or National League?
National League, and that is all I'll give you.
One more piece. Is it currently National League or was it National League at the time?
No, it's been, to my knowledge, whole existence National League.
All right, so it's automatically not the Brewers or the Astros. National League. Who was the Diamondbacks catcher when Randy Johnson was there? Because that, you think it'll give it away? I don't think it will. I know Johnny Bench was the Reds catcher forever, but I don't think the Reds had any. I can't think of a starting pitcher that would have been forever for the Reds. Cardinals. Adam Wainwright and Yadier Molina. I want you to know I literally had to. I was like, I'm just gonna start with divisions, and the NL East I eliminated immediately. I was like, I don't think. Oh, my camera decided to shit itself. Hold on.
Well, you got it right. I don't know why you're still thinking if you got it right.
I said my camera shit itself, buddy.
Oh. Ooh, can't can't have that.
That was what I was saying. I want you to know I just put my baseball card collection away, and I was like, Adam Wainwright played forever. So,
I mean, he was a baseball player.
all right. You consider yourself a pretty big Boston Red Sox fan, right?
I mean, out of the two of us, right?
No, just in general. Just in general.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Which team do the Boston Red Sox have the worst all-time winning percentage against?
Ooh. American League, National League.
I cannot give you that answer.
Uh,
But actually, you know what? I can. It's a national. It's a current National League team.
Current. Okay.
Like so, the National League today, and it is franchise wide. So if the team's relocated, it follows the franchise.
Okay. Couple teams come to mind, and I'm trying to see.
I will tell you the second. The second is the Yankees.
No, that makes sense.
The Yankees is a 45 point something. The Red Sox winning percentage against them.
I'm just gonna go with the Braves.
Incorrect. It is the Los Angeles Dodgers with a 41.7% win percentage against them all time. By the way, I still have one more Boston Red Sox question for you.
This is gonna be a rough trivia night for me, bro. My mind is so like I had a weird day today.
Me too, buddy. Me too.
Do you want a free point?
I mean, ask the question.
True or false? Spencer Carberry is the first coach to win Coach of the Year at all levels of North American organized hockey.
I'm gonna say your answer on your sheet is true, but it's false because he never coached in the SPHL.
I'm gonna say it's true because I forgot to put that in there. But
So, if you said all affiliated NHL affiliated professional hockey, then that would be the way to fix it correctly.
I yeah, I forgot to put that in there.
No, you're good.
There's a graph.
Did you like how I was able to answer your question? And or let me rephrase. To my knowledge, he never coached in the SPHL or the Fed.
Well, I'm assuming it just counted for the major.
It only counts NHL affiliated if you're looking on like the ECHL's website.
Yeah. At least there won't be overtime in this trivia. I'll tell you that.
I don't think there will be unless I shit the bed and you go ham at the end of here.
No, I don't think so. You go for very niche answers anyway.
Based on win percentage, what is the worst year for the Boston Red Sox franchise that made the playoffs? Well, made the postseason specifically, but postseason and playoffs are interchangeable words.
All time, including playoffs, or
the worst regular season that the team made the playoffs. What year was it? By win percentage.
what makes them a wild card team?
Do you want me to make this easier for you a little bit?
A little bit, yeah.
You were not alive yet.
Okay, that doesn't, but okay.
Would you like a second hint?
Yeah.
It's in the 1900s. And it's after World War II. It's a post-World War II team.
it wasn't a World Series year, I'm assuming.
No, I
Okay,
can
cross
guarantee
off 75 then.
it was not a World Series year.
So go with 1969 and just take my L and move on.
1990, they would lose to eventual American League champions Oakland Athletics.
All right.
The Reds also won that World Series, so when that's why I was like, I don't want to tell you it's a year the Reds won the World Series.
All right.
By the way, 3 of my last 4 questions are true or false for you, so you might score some
right.
points here.
I'm okay. All right. So a fun little stat I found today was Ellie's slash line through his first 338 career games is as follows: a 255 average, 330 on base, a 462 slug, 56 home runs, and 123 steals are on par or exceeds which MLB legend through the same number of games?
On par exceeds which MLB legend? I'm going to ask one question. Is this legend in the Hall of Fame for his achievements?
One could say not yet.
Pete Rose.
No.
Really? Who was it?
No. It's Barry Bonds.
Okay. Okay.
I actually have it up right here. I was gonna send it to the.
I believe you 100%. Did you like how I asked a very pointed question that basically knocked it down to like a very few people?
So I was gonna explain it, right? So their average is the only thing that was the same.
Mm-hmm.
So Barry Bonds had a 337 on base and a 474 slug, but Ellie had more homers and more steals. Obviously, more steals because last year definitely swayed that. Cool little stat line there.
This is one of the 3 true or false questions.
I thought you said 4, but okay.
No, I said 3 of the last 4 true or false questions. True or false? The ECHL record for points as a team is the Idaho Steelheads with 119 in the 22-23 season, which would be tied if they were an NHL team for 13th all time. Like a single season team points.
It's a single season.
Yep.
That's standings points, right?
Yes, standings points, correct.
I think I saw them that year, if I'm not mistaken.
You did.
I saw them in Worcester that year, if I'm not mistaken.
You did see them in Worcester that year.
And they shit pumped the Railers, if I'm not mistaken.
They were very good.
So let's go with true.
That is true. Mind. In fact, including the part about the NHL. That would have been 13th all time for points, like in a single season.
Now, do you see that kind of like correlation in the ECHL normally, or is that just kind of one of those anomalies?
I mean, 100 plus point seasons. Like, I've seen almost every year you have a team that's in the high 90s, 100s. I was actually shocked about that because remember the ECHL plays 10 less games, which means that's 20 less possible points. So like the Bruins have the all-time NHL record with like 135 points, which was the same year, by the way.
That's their choke year, yeah.
But the all-time NHL record's 135 points. That is what? Less than 20 points. 4 less than 20. It's a 16-point gap with 20 possible points off the table for Idaho. So.
All right. Sir, are you in fact ready for this?
I'm ready, as SpongeBob would say.
Can you name the correct order of hit leaders by left-handed hitting outfielders born in Donora, Pennsylvania on November 21st?
Stan Musial. Ken Griffey Jr., Ken Griffey Sr.
Yeah, let's go with that. Yeah.
By the way,
You can tell, like,
I've seen the meme about Ken Griffey Jr. being the second best left-handed hitter born in that city on that day, or born in
I had
that,
to
or
find some. I
not
had to
on
find some I had to
the,
find some filler questions.
that day. I didn't know. I didn't know he and Stan Musial had the same birthday. I just knew that they were born in the same city.
All right.
All right. True or false, Alex? The leader in games played this year in the NHL was Cody Ceci with 85 games played. Regular season games, by the way.
What the hell does that make sense? It was 82, right?
The NHL season is, in fact, 82 games. That is true.
If I asked you if he got traded, that answers that.
I cannot give you that information.
Can you give me the name again?
Cody Ceci.
The only way in my mind that makes sense is that if he got traded and given the. I shouldn't send it. We're going to say that he did.
It is true. He was traded mid-year.
Yeah.
It is possible. There will be a couple seasons where guys will play like 85, 86 games.
It's because of the schedule, right? Because you can
Yeah.
you can tack those games on to the off day difference.
Yeah. So like, let's say, because I know the Lightning was one of the teams he was on. Let's say the Lightning started with like a 10-game stretch, right? And wherever he landed, because I don't remember off the top of my head, had only 4 games in that stretch, right? If he gets traded before they catch up, then it's possible.
Him going to Dallas? No. Yeah, Dallas. Does that sound about right?
That does sound correct. Again, I don't remember 100%. It probably was him to Dallas, but that'll happen. And I know the Stars had a pretty later start as far as like they had less games at the very beginning of the year, so he could have played.
What
3.
question number are we on?
That was my 8th ask. So you're on your 8th ask.
All right. We're going back to turn of the century baseball here.
All right.
How many consecutive starts did Jack Taylor pitch without getting pulled in a 5-year period?
Consecutive starts in a 5-year period. Let's go 281.
Sir, that is not right.
Was I anywhere close?
You were about 100 off. He was at 187.
If I'd gotten that, you would have been so mad, though.
I would have had to go for a walk real quick.
That would have been amazing.
Dude, can you imagine pitchers nowadays doing that?
In a 5-year period.
Well, that's a complete start every year for 5 straight seasons.
No, I know, but still.
I mean, well, it's also like you got to think about it, right? Turn of the century baseball. Then and now.
Just a different animal. All right, yeah. Alex. This is the final of my true and false questions, and my second to last question. True or false? Brett Favre is the all-time leader in the NFL for games consecutively played.
I feel like he was injured for a while. Oh, you're messing with me now. You wouldn't do 3 trues in a row. You're not that cruel.
Am I now, though?
What?
Am I, though? You have a 50-50, Alex.
Nah, screw it. We're going to say he did. Because I had the jersey back in it. That was my first NFL jersey.
That's an amazing fact, but it is false. Brett Favre does have the record for consecutive starts, though, with 297. Since specialists do not count as starters, the actual consecutive games played goes to Jeff Fiegels, who played 352 consecutive NFL games.
You cut out, what was the name again?
Jeff Fiegels, Feagles.
Bro's a punter. That's who.
Yep. Yep. Goes to punter Jeff Fiegels. 352 games played. I want you to know I almost asked. Took the whole Brett Favre part out and just asked that, but you would have been like, who the fuck is Jeff Fiegels? By the way, he was a Patriots punter. He was a Patriots.
He was a Giants punter too.
He basically punted for like 16. It looked like it was like 6 teams he punted for. By the way, his streak started in the 80s.
Okay.
Well, it has to, right?
All right.
To have.
Would have to, right?
350. But yes, he was. I believe he was the first Giants Super Bowl in our lifetime. I believe he was their punter that year, and that was the year he retired.
All right. This is my last true false on here. Another older baseball player by the name of Rube Waddle. His offseason included gator wrestling as a circus act, and he had a reputation for chasing fire trucks mid-game.
That's so absurd. It has to be true.
Yeah. Yeah, he was just like, hold on. I only took part of that. I gotta find that. There's part. So I pulled that from the same thing of the Jack Taylor stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I just gotta find the rest of it. So he was born on Friday the 13th, and he died on April Fool's Day.
That's amazing. You could have added those 2 facts in.
So part of the Gatorade, he would like, they're off the grid as it comes, but like he like went like without a trace until somebody found him wrestling gators.
Alrighty. My final question for you today, Alex. Who is the MLB leader in World Series games lost?
Is it an older player?
It is.
I can rule out most Yankees from before 2000. That would be nice. It's a team that. I'm trying to think of teams that like made it a lot.
That's what you have to do. You have to think of teams that have made it and lost a lot of World Series.
Yankees, Sox, Yankees lead with the Cardinals even. Dodgers. This has got to be a guy I know, right?
He is a very popular MLB pitcher. I can tell you he is in the Hall.
Is this pitcher in the show?
He's been in MLB The Show, yes?
Koufax?
No. It is Whitey Ford. He leads with 8 losses.
Especially for the Yankees run back in the day.
Remember, he played the 50s through the late 60s for the Yankees, so they were in the World Series like literally every year.
Okay.
So he lost. It's game losses. So he has 8 game losses. By the way, Justin Verlander's up there with 6. Verlander needs to lose 2 more to tie the 2 more World Series games to tie the record.
All right. I give you a hint on one of my questions, but I don't think you know the full scope of it.
I gave you. I think I was pretty generous with my hints today.
Yes, you were. Could you do me in our chat a favor?
Yeah.
Can you name the most recent NCAA champions in soil judging, meat judging, and crop judging?
Is it the same school for all of them?
No, it's not. That's the funnier part too.
Well, if it was the same, I was just gonna be like, it's the University of Iowa, clearly. All right, so soil judging, meat judging, and what was the third thing?
Crop judging.
Crop judging. All right, I'm gonna give you 3 schools. I'm not gonna tell you what category it is. If I get them all, great. If I don't, great. I'm gonna go with Iowa, Iowa State, and Grambling State.
Oh, for 3, bud.
Ooh, who were they, and how did you find this?
All right. All right. So, soil judging was the University of Idaho.
Oh, Idaho. That would have been a good one.
Meat judging was Texas Tech.
Okay.
That would have been, and then crop judging was Kansas State.
How stupid would you have felt if I had gotten them?
That would have been more impressive.
Oh, God. So current standings going into.
You better ask that question at work tomorrow. That's all I'm telling you. I gave you a great trivia question for the cube tomorrow.
Can you just put that in our Discord chat so that I can ask it correctly? That's amazing. But after 3 rounds, I have a 15-11 lead. By the way, still neither of us are at. Today I did finally hit 50%. I'm 15 out of 30. Well, I'm 15 out of 32. So I'm just short of 50%. Alrighty.
We're going to sending it to Discord here.
So, All Stars next.
Yeah, we can.
All right.
All right. So, the way I thought of it was if voting ended tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Thursday's a weird day to end everything.
Yeah, but that's the MLB for you.
I think where we would have agreed was that Ohtani and Judge are going to be in anyway, so we should just build it. When we go through it, we'll just put Ohtani and Judge in their respective spots.
Yep. So it says Judge and Ohtani. On the bottom, it says they're in automatically due to being the highest garnered vote getters. So go position by position. In the columns,
I wanted to go.
MLB's graphic is so first, second, short, third, catcher, DH, and then it's 2 outfielders, or it's for the AL it's 2 outfielders because Judge, and for the NL it's 3 outfielders because Ohtani's at DH. For them.
Yeah.
All right. Who do you have for first base for the American League? So again, we're doing the American League first. Like I said, first, second, short, third, catcher, DH, 2 outfielders because Judge is automatically in per voting.
My vote is going to go to Vladdy Jr. over Paul Goldschmidt there.
Okay. I actually would take Goldschmidt. I think he's playing great this year. And actually, I watched the first 3 full Yankees games I've watched all year were this week with the Reds. And he played very well. I haven't seen Vladdy play this year. I won't lie to you. But
Doing Vlad.
I like Vladdy. Don't get me wrong. I like Vladdy Jr. But I think if Goldschmidt continues kind of the trend he's on, he would be a better fit.
I just had the vote counts in front of me, so let me find those again.
Ooh, that's thunder. For second base, your options for the American League are Jackson Holliday and Gleyber Torres. I don't know what you're thinking, but I would say Jackson Holliday.
I'm with you. Yeah.
I love Jackson Holliday's game. I won't lie to you. At short, it's Jacob Wilson and Bobby Witt Jr. Bobby Witt, 100%. Nothing against Jacob Wilson, but I like Bobby Witt better. Third base, J Ramirez rather, and Bregman, 100% Ramirez.
Yeah, I gotta give it to him. Bregman's injured anyway, so
You
Bregman's lost.
you also need
He's
some
lost
switch hitters
a
in this
lot of time
lineup,
there.
bud. You
That's
need,
a niche reference for this podcast. So
but you need switch hitters in your lineup. I'm sorry. At catcher, Cal Raleigh or Alejandro Kirk. This is probably the toughest position for me.
no. For me, it's not. For me, it's
I
not.
like
Big
both of them
dumpers going
though.
to the Big dumpers going to the All-Star game. Next position.
Who is that?
Cal Raleigh.
Didn't know that was his nickname.
It's very much out there that that's his nickname.
You know what? Give me the Drew-sized person, Alejandro Kirk. He's tiny, by the way.
I mean,
Kirk's height is actually incredibly small.
what is he, like 5'9"?
I think he's even shorter than that. You love when that's one of the first. He's 5'8".
Yeah, all right, close.
For an MLB player, that's tiny though.
Yeah. All right, where did you go off? DH.
DH. Ben Rice. Nothing against Ryan O'Hearn, but Ben Rice. We need some. We need some. I played in Worcester love on this.
I mean, so that's why Riley Green is getting one of my all-star spots. So
He played in Worcester.
yeah, it was the literal day before he got called.
Oh, that's sick. So for outfielders, honestly, I probably would go Stephen Kwan and Riley Green. Nothing against Trout and Javier Baez, but give the young guys a chance.
I like Kwan's game anyway too.
Me too.
But Baez they move Baez around so much anyway.
Mm-hmm.
He's playing middle infield and he's in the outfield, so he's kind of been platooning him. He's been a platoon guy now, so it's kind of like they're just kind of putting him somewhere just to get him on. But I get why. But
again, nothing against this game. Clearly better at baseball than
I see him as a
short.
shortstop. Yeah, no, he's a shortstop to me anyway, so that's why.
Right.
That's how I'm gonna kind of keep him.
And for the National League, like I said prior, but just so that it's there again, Shohei's automatically DH because he was the top vote getter. We'll do first, second, short, third, catcher, 3 outfielders. At first, your options are Pete Alonso or Freddie Freeman.
I gotta go Pete Alonso, man.
Me too. Nothing against Freddie's game, but I like Pete.
See, I like this category. I like the second base block. No matter what, we're getting a switch.
Yep. Second base, you have Tommy Edman or Ketel Marte.
It's like Ketel Marte.
Yeah, I
He's
agree.
been my favorite second baseman for a while. So.
I like his game. I really like his game. At short, you have Francisco Lindor or Mookie Betts. I think this might be the first time we split this whole ballot, at least on the National League side.
Who's your call?
Lindor. Nothing against Mookie.
We're gonna keep the switch hitters going, bro. Lindor, bro.
I honestly thought you were gonna.
Yeah, no.
go Betts.
No, I think Lindor's had the better year. No, I think just the Mets
third
run
base,
they've been on
Machado or Muncy.
I go Machado.
I also would go Machado. Again, Muncy's he's having a fine year. They're both having great years, but at catcher, Carson Kelly or Will Smith.
I'm gonna go Will Smith. Carson Kelly had a moment where he was like the best catcher in baseball for a while, but then he kind of tapered off. But Will Smith has always been kind of the constant.
You know, I'm still gonna take Carson Kelly. I think he would be more electric in an All-Star game, specifically. I'm glad your sneeze agrees with me.
No,
Yep.
My sneeze doesn't. You don't speak for my bodily actions.
Hey.
Pause.
And last but certainly not least, 3 outfielders of Acuna, Pete Crow, Teoscar Hernandez, Andy Pajes, Juan Soto, and Kyle Tucker. I would take Pete Crow, Teoscar Hernandez, and Soto. Personally,
This is where I'm gonna differ. Well, my logic here is Acuna's only been back for a
yeah,
month and a half, maybe.
that's why
Maybe.
I didn't put Acuna on my list.
So that's Pete Crow Armstrong's season, bro, has been insane to watch.
Exactly. That's why he was the first one I named.
Yeah. So Pete Crow Armstrong for me. I'm gonna take Soto. I'm gonna take Kyle Tucker at the same time.
Kyle Tucker's a good
Kyle
one
Tucker
too.
switched leagues and no adjustment from what it feels like.
Well,
So
so that's partly why I like Teoscar because he switched leagues last year and it felt the same way, and he's still putting up good numbers now. So it's not even a slump.
I think the pitchers are gonna be in the next phase of voting, if I'm not mistaken.
That makes sense.
Yeah, next phase is Monday. Yeah, next phase is Monday. So I think we'll compile our ballots and we can try to make
Yeah,
something to put out there.
you'll probably just have to math it out. Just go through and we can generate one.
Yeah, we'll make a very rough reel of this.
All right, Alex. You know how we close these things out. Random conference, random sport. This time it's my time to ask you, like I said at the jump of the show, but we're getting to it now, so I'm going to hit it again for the rules. The rules. Every week, either you or I pick a conference. The guy that picks, the other guy answers. It's a 3-strike system with an asterisk that once you get halfway through the conference, you get a bonus 4th strike that you've earned. This week for you, I have the Missouri Valley Conference men's golf from 2025.
All right. So let's go with Indiana State.
You said Indiana State?
Indiana State.
That is wrong.
All right.
They do not participate in men's golf.
But Drake.
Drake is correct. By the way, you have 1 strike.
I'm trying to think of like Missouri State.
Missouri State is correct.
All right. Ask me like the states these encumber. Is that a validation where my mind's at?
Yeah, I think it's. I know that's in Indiana.
I know it's Midwest.
I know that's
right?
Illinois. That's Iowa. It's all Midwest schools. It's the Missouri Valley, so it's like the Missouri River.
So Illinois. So like Illinois State.
Yep.
So the Iowa school's gonna trip me up. I know Drake's in Indiana.
You've gotten Drake, Illinois State, and what was the other one you said? Missouri State.
Missouri State, yeah.
So you have to get these two, basically. So I can tell you, Illinois State won. They were the best team for golf. Drake was 3rd, or 4th rather. And Missouri State was last, 10th. Hold on, I gotta highlight that. I have to go back to my Word document so I can highlight them as you answer. So you said Illinois, Drake.
Illinois State, Drake, Missouri State.
Okay. I just have my highlighter so that I can highlight and then.
I know the Iowa school's going to trip me up. Was Evansville on there?
That is correct. They were 9th.
Okay. What, 4 out of 10 right now?
Yep. You're at 4 out of 10. and you have one strike. You're at 4 out of 10. You're so close to earning your fifth strike. Or fourth
Fifth
strike, rather.
strike.
Fourth strike. Fifth right would get you the fourth strike.
Can I eliminate a state yet, or am I still? Are all states still in play?
I believe all states are still in play.
Like Western Illinois in there?
No.
All right.
Again, I'm not 100% if you've eliminated a state or not. I can tell you only 3 more schools have like state in them, or like something state or something university with a state involved.
No, I know I've gotten 3 schools in this. Or I got at least 2 in the state. No. I got 2 within Indiana.
Hold on. My camera was
Drake's
being
in Indiana. Your camera just doesn't want to work.
Yeah, my camera is being a butt today. Sorry about that. It should be good now. I think the USB dongle just is not all the way in the back of my computer. Because something fell the other day, and that probably what caused it. I'll just have to unplug them all and plug them all back in. No big deal.
All right, I'm at 2, so...
Yep, you have 2 strikes. If you don't get another school before you get a strike, you're out. Like I said, I picked a mid-major, and it's mid-majoring, let me tell you.
No, it very much is. Are any of the schools known for another sport?
I can tell you that there is at least one NFL Hall of Famer quarterback from one of these schools.
Was Northern Iowa in there?
That is the one.
All right. Okay. So I got 2 more strikes now, so that's great.
Yep.
Doesn't help my case at all.
It does, though, because it might have you refocus your thought. I would say you really have to. Honestly, I would say with this particular conference, think basketball.
Basketball?
I would say I hear most of these schools in the context of basketball when I hear them.
Is Northern Kentucky in there?
No.
All right.
I don't actually even know what conference Northern Kentucky is in.
I think they're in the Big South or something. They're in some mid-major.
You are down to 1 strike. That is your 3rd strike, Alex.
Just gonna cross off Murray State. Murray State's not in there. That wasn't a guess either.
Murray State is correct.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Like, you're saying the school name, I'm giving it to you. Even though you're like, it wasn't a guess. No, it was a guess. It was very much a guess.
I don't even know where Murray State is. That's the funny part.
I don't either. It's somewhere in the Midwest.
It's probably like
Google it after because if you Google it, I promise you it'll direct you immediately to this conference.
It's fine.
I know one of the schools is in Peoria, and
is that not where Illinois State is?
I have no clue what Illinois State is. It might be, but
Not to be confused with Peoria, Arizona.
no. I can tell you, I have a former coworker who went to this school and played baseball there. Come on, Alex. One more yes. Well, not one more. Oh my God,
You said
camera.
there's another state in there, right?
My camera has been a butt all night.
It's been a flank. Let's use real words right here, please.
I did use real words.
I'll go with just a yonder, I guess, out here.
You have four
Eastern Illinois.
Incorrect. You said Eastern. By the way, you guessed Eastern Illinois twice. I'm pretty sure.
No, I thought I said Southern Illinois.
You never said Southern Illinois. You said Southern Indiana.
I said what?
Which I
That's
don't
probably-
think is a real school. So the schools you missed were Belmont, Valparaiso.
Oh, Valparaiso. I should have known that.
Valparaiso.
Kill me now.
Southern Illinois is one of them, but you guessed Southern Indiana.
I swear I said that.
Nope,
But okay.
nope. Check the tape. You said Southern Indiana. And Bradley.
Murray State's in Kentucky. Missouri State's in no. Murray State is in Kentucky.
Okay. And
All right.
and Bradley University in Peoria, Illinois.
All right.
So
That was fun.
What did you get? What did you get? So you did 1, 2, 3, 4,
Yeah, 4.
6 out of 10, 60. That's not bad. Hey, I mean, we take a 6 out of 10.
Sure do.
Hey, at the end of the day, you did good. No, you really did. You said Southern Indiana, and I was like, oh, dude, wrong I-state. But I couldn't say that because that would have given you something, and I can't give you any extra.
Yeah.
And it looks like in 2 weeks I'll be doing Skyline football, unless you change it.
Ooh. Nope. But I think that gets you in a good position to come back to the East Coast, if I say so myself.
And then you get to do the SWAC women's bowling after that. So
Oh, let's just go. Did I give you a prerequisite answer?
yes,
I know Grambling State's in that conference for a very mutual acquaintance of ours.
I know. That's partly why I thought of that conference, sir. So you'll get one. You'll have one out of I think it's like a 12 or 13 team conference for women's bowling.
Fire. But like that's gonna help.
All right. Anything else, Alex, before we call it an evening?
Oh well, let's get you back to the correct coast, shall we?
Yep. And we will see you on the 17th. Have a good night, guys.
Oh yeah. All right. See you.
Bye.